Well, hello and welcome to another video. And in this video, we are going to see how we can create a bottom navigation in Android application. So without wasting time, let's just get started. I have a new project created and I have activity main, XML and Kotlin file for it. So let's go to activity main XML and the layout file. Let me remove the pre-built text view here, and I'll have two things here: a frame layout to hold the different views for each tab in bottom navigation, and then I'll have a bottom navbar as well. So first of all, let's create a bottom navbar. So for that, I'm gonna take bottom navigation. Layout width will be match parent, height will be wrap content. I'm gonna give an ID to this, bottom navbar. Okay, and now it's time to give constraints. So select this, keep it down, and constraint right and left will be on parent. Okay, right. So now let's create a frame layout to hold the fragments. Frame layout, width will be match parent and height will be 0 dp. In constraint layout, if you give height or width at 0 dp, it will automatically capture the remaining screen that is available to it. All right, so I'm gonna give ID will be frame layout. Okay, now it's time to give constraints. I'm gonna give constraint bottom to this bottom navbar, up to this parent, and horizontally to parent as well. So as you can see, it is taking up the all the screen that is available to it, right? So you don't have to give height manually for this. So now the thing is, our bottom navbar is currently blank. There is no tabs that can be visible on this, right? So here we need to attach a menu to it. So let's create a menu first. Right click on this resource folder, new Android resource file. Did I click on that or not? Yeah. So I'm gonna name the file bottom underscore menu, and select resource type as menu. So it will create a different folder for us. Menu, it's a different folder that's created for us inside this resource package, and bottom menu.xml file is created for us. So go to split view, and here I'm gonna take three things to show in bottom navbar. One will be the home screen, second will be notification, and third will be profile. And obviously I'm not going to create all the layouts for it. It will be just to hold and show the fragments. All right, so let's create the menu first. Item, I'm gonna give an ID for home, bottom underscore home. You can, by the way, give anything that you want. Then we'll give a title, home, and we'll assign an icon as well. So for icon, I've already inserted three different icons, vector icons in iDrawable. So I'm gonna use that. IC underscore home for home, and that's it. Now I'm gonna just copy paste this thing for two more times, and another item will be bottom notification, title will be notification, and icon will be IC bell, and third item will be for profile. So bottom profile, profile, and icon will be IC_profile. So that's it. Now we have to assign this menu to our bottom navbar. So go to main activity XML file, and here I'm gonna assign menu, and I'm gonna assign our bottom menu to this. So now, as we can see in this layout, that we have three things in our bottom navbar. So that's it. Now we don't have to do anything with our XML files. Now go to my main activity Kotlin file, and first of all I'm going to do find view by ID here. By the way, I'm going to make a video on view binding, so we don't have to do find view by ID again and again in every video. So next video will be possibly about view binding, and after that I'm not going to use find view by ID at all in my upcoming videos. So anyway, for this video, let's just keep find view by ID. Let's just stick with that. So we have bottom navbar. So let's take a variable for that. Let me just take a variable in global. So private val bottom navbar of type bottom navigation. Was that a view, or yeah, view, sorry, I just forgot. Bottom navigation view. Here it is. Now we have to initialize this. Actually, let me just take late init var, so I can initialize that in on create. So bottom navbar equals to find view by ID r.id dot bottom navbar. Now here we are going to create three different fragments for three different menu items. One's for home, one's for notification, and one's for profile. So let's create those fragments. Right click on this package, fragment. Actually I'm gonna create fragment manually, so let's create a Kotlin file here, home fragment. Let's create a layout for that, fragment underscore home. Let's create layout files for all of them first. Fragment underscore notification, and the last will be fragment underscore profile. Now let's go to home fragment Kotlin class and extend fragment here, and in the constructor I'm going to pass the layout r.layout dot fragment home, and view created. I'm not gonna do anything here except I'm gonna just change the view here a little bit so that we can differentiate between home fragment, notification fragment, and profile fragment. Let's just take a text view here, and text will be home, text size will be 25 dp, and text color will be black, so it is more visible. Anyway, let's create constraint. Okay, in the notification fragment we are gonna take a text view. Let me just copy paste this text view from here, and instead of home, actually I'll need to import this, so press alt enter and import, and instead of home I'm gonna replace that with notification. notification, and in profile fragment as well, let's take text view, import, and profile. So close all the layout files and open. We have done with the home fragment, so let's create Kotlin file for remaining fragments. So notification fragment, extend from fragment. By the way, if you have no idea how fragments are created, how transactions are done between fragment, how do you move from one fragment to another, watch my fragments video. It's just a basic video. You're gonna get everything that's needed for this particular video. We are going to use that begin transactions in the later part of this video. So if you don't have any idea about fragments, please watch that video. I'm gonna keep that link into the description where you will find the video. So by the way, r.layout.notification on view created. Close it. Create another file for profile fragment. Extend from fragment in constructor r.layout.profile view created. So that's it. Now we're gonna initialize all of those fragments in our main activity.kt, and we're gonna take an instance of every fragment. So let's create an instance. So actually let's create anyway, let's just create here itself. So val home fragment equals to home fragment, val notification fragment equals to notification fragment, val profile fragment equals to profile fragment. Now we are going to create a function to begin transact, to set the fragment on frame layout. So let's create a function. I'm going to name it set current fragment, and the argument will be of type fragment. And here we are going to take support fragment manager dot begin transaction dot apply, and we're going to replace, by the way, I almost forgot that, all right, we don't need it. So r.id we have frame layout, and we can replace that with fragment that we are passing in the argument, and call commit at the end. Commit. So now we can call this function here set current fragment to home fragment. So when we open the app, the first fragment by default that we can see on this frame layout is home fragment, right? So now we can assign all this fragment, we can set all of this fragment to the bottom navigation. So to do that, we have bottom navbar, so we can call a method on that. So bottom navbar dot set on navigation item selected listener, and here we can write when condition 8 dot item id. We have IDs in our menu file, if you remember, so we are gonna use those IDs here. So if the ID is r.id.bottom home, call this function set current fragment and pass home fragment. So it will replace the screen with home fragment. And when r.id.bottom bottom notification. Call this method and set the fragment with notification fragment, and r.id.bottom profile, replace that with profile fragment, and do not forget to call return true outside this when condition. So yeah, that's it. We don't need to do anything else, I guess. So it should work for us. Now let's run our application and see if it is working or not. So as you can see, by default our fragment is set to home fragment, and when I click on notification it will go to notification fragment, and when I click on profile it will go back to profile. So that's how you create a bottom navigation bar. So I want to show you another interesting thing that you can do. In many applications you might have seen if there are notifications in your application, you might have seen a little dot here with the number inside it that says how many notifications you have. So let's create that badge on this notification icon. So to do that, I'm gonna call another method on bottom nav. So bottom nav bar dot set get or create badges, get or create badge, and here we can pass the ID on which we want to create the badge. So I want to create a badge on notification, so I'm going to pass r.id.bottom notification, and here we can pass two things. One will be number, and I'm gonna I forgot to call dot apply here. So number, you can give any number that you want, and you do not forget this important thing, which is visible, and set it to true. So let's run and see if we get that badge on the notification icon or not. So as you can see, we can see this badge and we have a number 10 inside it. So you can use this functionality to show users when a new notification arrives. You can store that number, and you can count those notifications and store in a variable and then show that here in a badge. So basically that was it for this video. This is how you create bottom navigation bar in Android. By the way, this whole thing can be made so much easier with navigation component. You don't have to create this function set current fragment. You don't have to use fragment manager, begin transaction, and replace all the things. You don't have to do that, by the way, with navigation component. That make it so much easier. But right now, this was the basic idea how to create a bottom navigation bar. I'm going to create a separate playlist on navigation component where we'll see how to create drawer layout, bottom nav bar, tab layout, and everything. Right, so for now, this was it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next video.